Hey folks, it's Dr. E and it's our last week. So congratulations on making it to the last week. This is a really time-intensive course. It requires a lot of you. So congratulations, you have a lot to be proud of. I'm really proud of you. No matter what grade you receive in the class, you put in a lot of work and effort. So I appreciate all of that. So this last week is kind of just tying up a few things. We have it set up so that we don't have a final exam. We don't have a final big piece of writing. You've done a bulk of the work already, so hopefully you have some time to focus on any of those exams or things you have in other classes. So I hope it's set up in a way that is really helpful in this last week. So I'm going to cover a few things that I want you to think about for this last week. But I want you to also make sure that you have provided all that interaction and participation for the multimedia projects. So all of that was due on Sunday. Just make sure that you've gone in and interacted with one another and gotten that participation, right? So if people responded to your project, go in and respond to them, thank them for their time and offering you that information. Just work on having an actual discussion, right? And see the work that your peers have done. It's pretty amazing to see how even with PowerPoints, you can get creative, how some of you are artists, it's a real pleasure to end the semester with those assignments. So I'm really excited. So take some time to do that. I am working to complete your portfolio grades. It's taking me some time. Please remember that when I go through and I grade the portfolios, I put up your portfolio draft and all the feedback I offered on your draft with your final version. So I'm looking to see that you've made some of those revisions and updates in addition to any other kinds of updates that you made the decision to complete for that assignment. Know that my feedback is not extensive. I offered you more extensive feedback for the draft version. This is not only due to time because we have to turn around the grades pretty quickly. It's also because I'm still having a wrist issue, so I'm just being pretty quick with my feedback. Don't take that as an insult or anything. That's just the nature of what's going on right now. So if I'm short in my feedback, it has nothing to do with you, okay? I also want you to note that you can revise and resubmit your portfolio. So if you see areas where you can improve or areas where maybe you didn't take my feedback into consideration for whatever reason, you can still revise and resubmit and post that in that folder in the assignment section. So something to consider. Everything in the revise and resubmit folder is due by 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday. So only those things that are kind of listed in the instructions are an option to revise and resubmit, but you can take advantage of all of those. Again, this means that it's going to take me some time to update any grades, so just something to bear in mind. But that is there for you because it is part of a writing class, right? To make those revisions, to think about your writing in new ways, to update based on, having more experience and having more skills in writing as we move through the semester. But just keep that due date and time in mind, and also know be working on those grades. So just be patient. I do want you to note that all the grades are due next week. Please don't email me to ask me if you've passed because I'm going to be working to make those grade updates as quickly as I can, but I also want to take the time to really work on those grades and spend the time that your grading deserves on, making sure that I'm updating those. I want you to note that I don't round up. When it comes to grades, I do not round up mathematically, so that is why the revise and resubmit becomes something that's really important to take advantage of if you're worried that your grade is going to be on the cusp of, 89.5, but you want that A or something in a different kind of grade range. So bear that in mind, okay? I want you to take some time with the course reflection this week. That is something that is on the agenda. So let me go ahead and pull up our syllabus schedule so that we can kind of just review that and end the week, end the semester as we always do by looking at the syllabus and the schedule. So I want you to remember that, your response to other folks for the multimedia projects, that was due on Sunday, but if it's Monday, get it done. I'm not going to grade past a certain point on Monday, but I want you to do this and make sure you get that grade. So Again, watch the instructional video. That's something you are currently doing, I would presume. Revise and resubmit. All of that information is due by 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday. That's a hard deadline. There's not going to be an extension for that, so just keep that in mind. And your course reflection is going to be due by Friday at 11:59 p.m. So just as a note, because of where we are in the semester, the due dates and times are kind of shifting, right? So by Friday at 11:59 p.m., I want you to make sure that you have your course reflection due. And also you'll have a quiz participation grade for watching this video that's due by Friday at 11:59 p.m. So just some things to keep in mind, okay? So going back to our schedule, you want to make sure that you're seeing those dates and time for submission. I did highlight this right here because I noted that in the actual assignment chart that's at the top of the syllabus, this is worth 20 points or 2%. So that is an error to have the 25 points visible here. It is worth 20 points. So it's a big enough grade that it can matter. So make sure that you're completing that. I do ask that in the course reflection area, I'm asking you questions about the class just to get some feedback, to get your experience in the course. So please be as thorough as possible. It's a writing class, folks, so make sure that you're taking the time to answer those questions as thoroughly as possible. This is in the quiz section, so it's just kind of a space for you to write your responses to the questions that I've asked. And those are going to range from, what worked and what didn't work for you in the span of the semester, supplying some feedback for me so I can make improvements for the next semester that I teach the course. So your feedback is really valuable. And I want to know what your experience was like, good or bad. I'm really asking for your honesty here. And note that if you have constructive criticism or things that I could benefit from doing differently in the future, I want you to offer that feedback and not worry about your grade. Your grade is not going to be a reflection of if you are constructively criticizing my teaching or my, the way I've set up the course. Your grade is based on providing feedback, right? Have you provided answers for all the questions that I've asked? Right? Have you been thorough in your responses? So again, feel free to be as honest and direct as possible because your grade doesn't count on that. It counts for how thorough your feedback is. And I have asked a couple questions about, are you willing for me to share your work in the future? Of course, I would take your name off of any identifiable information, but seeing examples can be really helpful for students when they are assigned something, right? So I want to be able to see about providing that in the future because I think that will help. Okay, so in going back to, here's the syllabus schedule, and then here is the weekly module, okay? So you have a link to the course reflection, which is in the quiz, and I just have reminded, just answer everything thoroughly, and you have that last week participation quiz, which is pretty much based on what you're watching right now. But what I want you to do is also think about, some things that I want you to take with you to all classes in the future. Classes with writing generally, but classes in, overall. I want you to really think about the fact that you want to peer review, or you want to have a tutoring session, or you want to have somebody else's eyes on your work before you submit a writing assignment in any other class. What I hope this class has done for you is shown that that can be really helpful. It can be really productive to get that kind of feedback instead of just submitting something that's essentially still in draft form, right? We want another set of eyes to help us catch some of those things that we do just in our writing out of habit. We all have those kinds of writing habits. I want you to also remember, you don't have to be an expert in any of this. You should not feel that you have to be a grammar expert or a spelling expert, or certainly not an MLA expert, or any other style, APA, Chicago, whatever your future classes require. You just need to you need to know where to go to get expert advice, right? So you need to know that tutors can help you with all formatting styles. They can help you with grammar. They can help you with spelling. You can use tools like Grammarly or the spell check and the grammar check features in Microsoft Word. You don't have to be that expert when you have all these other resources available. So I really hope that you take advantage of those things in future classes that require writing, okay? And tutoring. I mean, tutoring is available for all subject areas, right? So as we're thinking about ending this class that you've put a lot of time and effort into. I hope that you plan some time to get away from the computer, get away from classes, and just kind of take a break. So I want to wish all of you happy holidays for those of you who celebrate, happy Hanukkah, happy Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy New Year. But if you don't celebrate any of those, then happy break, right? Take that time to really kind of hit the reset button and be prepared for a future semester for those of you who have registered. If you haven't registered, make sure that you register, right? You may not know, but sometimes classes get canceled if not enough people enroll. So if you have your perfect dream schedule set up and you just haven't taken that step to register, take that step, so that class you really, really want or need at that preferred time, or that preferred, if it's a hybrid, whatever, make sure it doesn't get canceled by enrolling in it. So just some things to consider. I wish you well, and if you ever need anything in the future, please feel free to reach out or just shoot me an email and let me know how you're doing. I wish you the best of luck. Take care all. Bye-bye.